Welcome, your war chief is back with another epic video. Hi, my name's PB, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peeps. Since we are about to defeat Sylvanas, like today, it's happening today, before this goes live, this is filmed in the morning before the raid was released, I do not think we're going to kill her. Like, kill. I think she may escape, or we may imprison her, but she ain't dying yet. She will be dead by the end of the expansion. She won't be dead yet. My take. I figured it was a good time to compare her villain arc with Jaina Proudmoore's. I'm going to be very real here. I honestly thought Jaina would be on the list of baddies above her. So what seemed like was totally gonna happen didn't. It changed. And Sylvanas went totally bad. I mean, morally gray, so how you want to put it, but you know, leaving Jaina in a sympathetic light. All that said though, let's talk about that change. Before getting into that though, if you like this kind of video, you like lores, deep dives, or just nerdy stuff in general, you're home. Hit that subscribe button because listen, we tend to do nerdy here really well. Alright, let's get into the difference in writing and where it all changed for these two badass women right now. Now let's be real here. We are currently running her endgame plan. Her endgame arc. It's the climax. But let's go back. Let's start in the beginning. And I'm not trying to sound too cliche, but it's coming out that way. Her life changed drastically when she died. If y'all remember, she died at the hands of Arthas, who wasn't yet Lich King and became Lich King. We know him. Now her early writing shows hardship, torture, bitterness, and she's just not having a good time. She then goes to lead the Forsaken, and her work with the Forsaken, I can't ignore it. This woman, although she controlled their lives to avoid them getting hurt from their previous lives, which, projecting, let's be real, it's projecting. And some would say it was with an iron fist. She was still loved by her people. The Forsaken in Legion begged to have her come home to Undercity just to see her face because they missed her. They felt safe with her there. Shit changed, but you know. But she never got that reception from the Horde. Day one and previous to Legion, she was hated by the trolls and Vol'jin, which made her choice as war chief even more fucked up, but whatever. She was tolerated by the orcs and Thrall, which was because Karn Bloodhoof said that he would keep an eye on her. She was tolerated by the Taurens. Karn didn't trust her from day one, but he felt terrible about their situation and felt like he needed to give a helping hand, which is why they even entered the Horde. He even tried for years to cure them. Instead, he stood for their grounds of peace. Today, Bane, even against his better judgment, kept up that bargain right up until she, BFA, but again, stay with me here. So even back then, when she was an equal leader of the Horde, she wasn't liked. She's always had a very controversial, a very evil-esque arc written for her. Simply put, her story had to have a turning point eventually. Like even back in Draenor. Legion eventually led into BFA, which there they finally turned her really bad. And BFA went into Shadowlands, which we are now playing it out. Without looking at her current arc in Shadowlands, we knew something was up. We knew something was coming. There is nothing here that is surprising by any definition. It's literally been in the making since Warcraft. Hell, it even goes back further than Garrosh Hellscream. Remember that guy? So knowing that this is how it was going to go eventually, a villain arc, that is, maybe not undead madness, but the villain arc was coming. Let's look at Jaina. Jaina Proudmoore, born in privilege. Yeah, she was the daughter of a Grand Admiral. Father and brother dies to the Horde. She gets a primo education in Dalaran. Falls in love with a prince. which, spoiler alert, that turned to shit. For all you new players, spoiler alert, it was Arthas. You know, the pretty blonde guy who rose the dead, killed Sylvanas, that guy. That one. Jaina became the queen of sitting on the fence. She's the queen of neutrality between Horde and Alliance for expansions. She befriended Thrall, Bane, Varian. She was like an aunt to Anduin. And she always sat on the fence in Dalaran. Until Garrosh decided to blow Theramore the fuck up. Then, she's not only part of the Alliance, she wants total revenge. She sits by the king's ear just screaming about how every move you should make going forward should be the entire annihilation of the Horde. So her arc coming out of Draenor into Legion was obvious future bad guy. This woman needs to be stopped. Something's gotta give. It honestly felt like a surefire thing. So going into Legion, if you would have asked me to put money on the table, who was our next badass boss? Jaina. It was easily Jaina Proudmoore. We had two storylines here. We had Sylvanas, who's always been on the up for evil. And then we had Jaina, who was exponentially towards the evil path. And then Jaina's arc drastically took a turn. Like, not a full 180, but I mean, as close to a 180 as you can get. She went from vengeful to just untrusting and just looking to help Anduin, being the good auntie that she is. And going into BFA, she is depressed, she's on the defensive, and pretty much keeps that standpoint all the way through. Even in her aggressive tones in some of her conversations, you can tell it's coming from a place of hurt and not true vengeance. Sylvanas, though, her storyline was given some Red Bull. Get it? They gave her wings, like in Shadowland. No. I'll just see myself out. Either way, she went for blood. What changed? Why did Jaina's exponential story hit that same neutrality very quickly? Why did Sylvanas' just all of a sudden hit exponential? There's a few theories running around. 1. They could be going for some low-hanging fruit. Let's be real, Sylvanas has been on that tread forever. We knew it was coming someday. She was gonna be a problem. Number 2, they could have changed Jaina's arc to give room for Sylvanas's. Since Jaina's arc was really on the exponential, they had to cool it if they were going to give Sylvanas's some room to breathe. So I think that they slowed Jaina's down specifically to give that room. Plus, let's be real, coming out of Shadowlands, if you think Jaina's gonna take this shit sitting down, especially with what's been done to Anduin, on top of her own trauma, more to come. Finally, my sister's theory, and one that is quite popular. Horde bad guys come before Alliance. They're playing into the trope. So which ones do I think it is? Honestly, it's a lot of number 2 and a little bit of number 3. I still think Jaina Anduin's got an arc that's coming post Shadowlands, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I really think that the storyline was brought down to let Sylvanas go. And yes, I do think there's a little bit of trope in making the Horde the baddie first. So I do think that the bad guy trope was just swapped to let that go through. But I'm not the only one here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, give me a big old thumbs up. If you didn't, well, cool. Be honest with me. I'm a big girl. I promise you I can handle it. Bonus points if you tell me why you didn't like it. Feedback is the best way to improve. If you like Warcraft, you like nerdy stuff, lores, deep dives, reactions, or me, I don't know. Either way, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, ring that bell. That way you'll get notifications every time I upload and or go live. Right now, live streams are picking back up. We are doing more and more every week. And then we're going to start extending the length of them, which, can't wait. And of course, your typical 2 videos a week. Well, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for going on the lore sleuth with me. Have a legendary day, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye! Speaking of baddies, how does Anduin come out of all this? Is that shadow part of himself just gonna flow freely? Are we going to get a Mad King? Please? I'm down.